On today's show, Barb and I are going to make a chicken alla pitocca. This is one of those basics that you need to make for your family regularly. It is so delicious. Of course, we're using chicken breast today. We have some beef broth, and we're going to have rice and onions and garlic and cheese and a white wine. This is going to be so good. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. And here's Barb with the question of the day.
If you like parsley, give me a thumbs up.
Let's start out by cutting up our chicken. So just take your scissors, if you're using a chicken breast, just cut up the center of the chicken breast to make them about the same size equally, and then you're cutting roughly 1 inch pieces, give or take. This doesn't have to be exact. You just want small pieces, like when you do Asian recipes. If it's too long, just cut it in half. Next is our vegetables. I bought the carrots shredded. It's made my life easier lately. The celery I cut up into 1 inch little pieces. The garlic I have already cut and hit it with a knife, kind of like what they call break in the garlic. And then the onion, I just cut the onion up in a plus. You want to take a bullet, a blender, food processor, whatever you have, and you want to put your stuff in there. So I like to put the onion in first, and then the garlic. And then process. Then we need to put in the celery and the carrots. By the way, these measurements for all this stuff is right down below there where it says the Diabetic Diet Show. You can hit the subscribe button. You should see the more button, and all the measurements and ingredients will be there for you. There we go. Now this was a little messy, this part, but not all that bad. Now that the chicken is all cut up and all the vegetables are cut up and ready to go, next we're going to fire up the heat on our burner. Get it going nice and hot. We're going to put our olive oil in, and we're putting it into a cold pan. With olive oil, you don't want to put it in a hot pan. So pretty much just cover the bottom. This is a fairly large pan, which makes it a lot easier to cook a meal like this. Today we're also going to be using wine. If you have white wine, you'll want to use that. If not, just a sherry will work. So that's a cooking sherry. And of course I grated all the cheese with the cheese grater. We're also going to be using chicken broth. So you can use either chicken broth or you can use the chicken beef stock. The chicken beef stock is made with the chicken bones, so it has a little bit better flavor than the broth does. Okay, I have that measured out. Today we're using rice. You want to use a short grain rice, or if all you have is a long grain rice, that'll be okay. We have the salt ready to go, and the butter is going to be for later. So we got everything cleaned up and ready to go here. So now the next step is vegetables and salt. And this gets hot pretty fast, so now I'm going to turn down to medium heat. Grab a wooden spoon, work it in. You're going to cook this until the vegetables become clear, translucent. And the number one thing that helps this process to happen is salt. This is sea salt and garlic salt mixed together. I'm not going to put a lot on. You can always add more later on. This is all done. Turn off the fire. Try to get all of this around on one side so that I can offload it into a tray. Then the chicken. You can turn the fire back on again, set it to medium, and roughly 4 minutes, you're browning it up. After about 2 minutes, you want to turn these over and then cook it for another couple of minutes. Okay, it's starting to get browned up. Rice is coming soon. So for now, we just put our wine in there. You need to turn your fire off when you pour your wine in, and then you can turn it back on again to be safe. We're going to let that evaporate, and if you want, you can check the temperature of the chicken. There's some more cooking that's going to happen here, so it doesn't really need to be done, but let's just see out of curiosity my temperature. I'm 179, so in just a minute or two here, as soon as I'm done with this wine, I'm going to pull the meat out. That's been a bit. Turn the fire off. And let's scoop the chicken out. Now I'm going to throw this chicken back in with the vegetables in just a little bit to warm it up. That's why I said it didn't really matter if it was totally cooked or not, because I'm going to put it back in at the end. Okay, next, turn the fire back on again. Vegetables going in later. Rice. Bay leaf. Let's throw some foil over the chicken just to keep it warm. Time is about done on this. I'm just going to turn off the fire here, watching the timer count down. It's going to be a little warm, so put it like that away from me. I put this fork in so that it would vent, because this was not a vented lid. Now I want to stir it, and I'm going to go to a new clean wooden spoon. Take my bay leaf out of here. You have to stir this good because it wants to kind of stick if you're not careful. That rice absorbed all the liquid from this pan. Okay, that's wonderful. Now, right here in the center, I'm just going to make a little hole. I'm going to put this butter in. It's been sitting out since I started. Should melt pretty fast in a hot pan. Break it up. Now the cheese. Parsley. Vegetables. Then the meat. Still hot. Ooh, that's really hot. That worked well. I want to mix this in, folding it. Fold the meat in. This is a big pan full of food. This is going to feed a lot of people. Here we go. Just like that. There you go, folks. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you'd like to see a couple more recipes just like this, here's 2 more.